Good evening. I'm Jim Duplessis, and I want to talk to you tonight. Specifically, I want to talk to teachers. I've been going door to door now all day today, but I've been going door to door for months. And I've come into contact with a lot of teachers, and quite honestly, I have a lot of support from a lot of teachers. But I've also found that a lot of the teachers don't understand what we did. They think that what we did was hurt teachers. I lost some support from a few of those who thought we hurt teachers. And so obviously, if you think that what we've done with the pension plan would hurt teachers, I would probably be upset with me too. That'd be a fair thing to say. But what we did is not what's being reported to you. There are those in the KEA and in other circles. This is about elections. This is about having one party to win, and that would be the Democratic Party. So if you would give me just a minute, let me explain what's going on with your pensions, because I think everybody needs to understand this. This is a big deal. It's a very big deal. It matters. As you know, if we don't do something, we're going to run out of money. KERS is only 3 to 4 years of solvency left. That's why we're making some of these big changes. TRS, they said, is 20 to 24 years, which is basically the time when you're going to need the money. 20 years from now, you need that money to be there. So what we've done is I put together a little card. I'd like you to look at this card. I'm going to go over it real quickly. First thing I'm going to do, because I've found that a lot of teachers didn't quite understand exactly how the pensions worked, and I'm not going to go fully in depth, but I can if you need me to. We're going to talk about the current pension plan, what the governor recommended, what the superintendents and the KEA, what they recommended, and then Senate Bill 151, which has been unfairly called the sewer bill, what it does. So bear with me for just a few minutes as I go through these. Okay, so a defined benefit plan, that's what a pension is. There's defined benefit plans, and then there's 401ks, which are not pensions. So the governor, he went to a 401k style. This was his plan. Now I want to let you know, I think a lot of people think we passed the governor's plan or some form of it. What we passed was nothing like the governor's plan. In fact, the governor's plan didn't even get a vote on the House floor. It didn't even make it to a bill. The next plan was a superintendent's plan that the KEA and the KSBA worked on together. It was called the Shared Responsibility Plan. This was a plan I would have supported had this gotten a vote on the House floor. It did make it in bill form, but it didn't make it for a vote. I would have voted for this bill. But I think you're going to see in a minute that Senate Bill 151 that we passed is better than the Shared Responsibility Plan. Let me just go through that with you. So over here at the high 3, the way your pensions are designed is it looks at your highest 3 years of salary, and at age 55 with 27 years, you get those 3 years. If you don't do it that long, you get 5. But the governor's plan eliminated that. It completely eliminated that that benefit. The shared responsibility plan from the KSBA did it for anybody who was hired after July 1st of this year. Senate Bill 151 didn't change any pension plan for anybody who's in the pensions for the high 3. The 3% factor, that's the multiplier. If right now you get a 2.5 multiplier, but if you stay in 30 years as an extra bonus, you get a 3.0 multiplier, which boosts your pensions by tens of thousands of dollars. The governor's plan eliminated it in 2023. The teacher's plan, or excuse me, the superintendent's plan actually did make changes to it. Anybody after 2024 did not get a high 3 factor. They only got a 2.5 factor. That would have cost teachers. Any teacher that would, if we had passed this bill, teachers that had any kind of time in there would have lost tens of thousands of dollars. Tens of thousands of dollars if this had passed. We didn't do that in our plan. We left that out. We made no change to the 3.0 factor. You can still get the high 3.0 after 30 years with Senate Bill 151. COLAs, cost of living adjustments. The current law has 1.5%. When you retire, you guys, the teachers put money in for that. The state matches some of that money. The governor's plan was going to suspend that for 5 years to try to catch up. The superintendent's plan allowed it to be suspended until the plan reached 95%. Once it got to 95%, then the COLAs came back. Senate Bill 151 made no changes to your cost of living adjustments, none. Then we get down to sick leave. This is the one thing we're going to talk about. The governor's plan basically said after 2023, you couldn't use any sick days, none, to enhance the value of a pension. The superintendents didn't like that. They came up with a better idea. They said any days that you've accrued, you can still use. So if you had 200 days, you could use 200 days to enhance your pension. We took that idea from them and took it word for word, verbatim, out of their plan and put it in Senate Bill 151. So that is the only change that we made. It came right out of the KEA's approved plan. We took it word for word, verbatim, and put that in our plan. No other change. I want you to hear this. No other change was made to any active teacher's pension. None. If you had 1 day of service, you got no change to your pensions. So no matter what you've been hearing, we've been called such dirty names, like we don't support teachers. That can be further from the truth. We need good teachers. We need to have good benefits. We need better pay for our teachers to entice better teachers into or the smartest kids that come out of high school. We need to make sure we're enticing them. Lastly, for new hires, the governor's plan put them into basically a 401 style plan. Of course, that teachers don't get Social Security, so this was a terrible idea in my opinion. Again, I was very vocal. I did not support this plan. The superintendent's plan, what they did is they kept it in a pension, but they did away with the inviolable contract for those people that were new hired after July of this year. What we did with our plan is we went to a cash balance hybrid plan. It was an extremely good plan. You can roll it over to your kids. You can roll it over to your husbands. If you leave teaching, you can roll it to a regular IRA. This was a good plan. And I won't get into all the details, but it's actually can put more money into a teacher's pocket than the current pensions do. So let me just close and say, I've been fighting for our teachers. I believe wholeheartedly how important your job is to making sure that our Commonwealth is the best that it can be. In fact, we can't get where we want to go until we do get our kids educated to be able to be ready for this next generation. So whatever you've been hearing, no, these are the facts. The facts are I support you. And I do ask for your vote November 6th. And if you have any concerns, I want to hear from you. Send me an email. I'll answer them myself. It won't be a staff person. So thank you. I hope you have a great night.